Well, hello, and welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the podcast from the birthplace of geocaching right here, or right over there in the great Pacific Northwest. It's Thursday, somewhere around 9 p.m. Pacific, and they call me Chris of the Northwest. We're going to talk about geocaches and geocachers from here and all around the world. So while you're like Wits End, just starting your Christmas shopping, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
It's true. It's true. Just a few more days to start shopping.
You got lots
three
of time.
more days.
Yeah.
3 more days.
It really narrows the selection down. You don't have to make
Yeah.
as many choices. You just grab whatever's left, and she's gonna like it because you put a lot of thought into it, and it's the thought that counts.
Nothing like a pair of yellow pants.
I know. Yeah. Well, tonight we are talking about Christmas shopping, holiday things, all kinds of holiday stuff, and we'll review some geocaching memories. As always, live audience, I'll bet you've got some fun stories. Jump in the chat, share them with us. We want to hear from you. But we can't do that until we bring in our holiday howler monkey. Some say he keeps the bathroom door open on airplanes. And others say he owns the only Earth cache on the island of misfit toys. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
Oh, wow. That is an interesting juxtaposition there.
It's a Charlie in the box.
Oh my gosh. Good to be here with my friends. It is Thursday night. It is 9 p.m. Pacific, and it is time to get a podcast going. And, later for some of the folks who are watching us and maybe even participating with us tonight. So,
Yeah, it may or may not be 9 p.m. for one of our hosts somewhere.
it may or may not.
It was in an undisclosed location.
It is definitely 9 p.m. Pacific.
It is. That's
There
true.
you go.
That's true.
Perfect. Good answer. Good answer. All right. Well, hey, before we get into any and all of that, we want to remind everybody how much we appreciate the support of our patrons who help to keep this podcast coming each and every week. A thanks out to Land Sharks, one of our corporate Denali level sponsors. If you don't know what to get your favorite geocachers for Christmas, well, you can't go wrong with a Land Sharks gift certificate or a geocaching premium membership. Well, check those out at landsharkz.ca. And our other corporate Denali level sponsor, well, that's Gold Country Geotourism. It's holiday time there too. Visit exploregoldcountry.com to learn more about the geotours and the region. Don't forget to download the app. And a reminder, that's at exploregoldcountry.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this here podcast, well, we ask you to go over and check out that Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Sorry, I was distracted by Chris's enormous finger there.
I wasn't looking at the screen.
He was scrolling something and it got you.
I was trying to look at the audience here.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. I'll keep my enormous finger to myself. Unless I'm pointing right at you.
Flying
That's right.
finger of fate.
Indeed.
Hey, folks, if you want to join into tonight's chat, and we know you do because you guys do a fantastic job, use the hashtag holiday. That's a holiday hashtag, if you will, in the chat to add something to tonight's show. Of course, you can always use the hashtag FTAS to bring up something for the after show, FTAS, for the after show.
There you go. There you go. And, if you want to share what you might be podcast baking tonight, hashtag podcast baking. Love to know what you're baking up for Christmas so that we know when to come over.
Tis the season for baking, is it not?
Yes. And sending to podcast hosts. Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Whether it's purchased or stolen.
That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
We're not picky.
I'll let you know. We stopped at Trader Joe's. They often have stolen, but it's not come in yet.
Not the
So-
good stolen.
Okay.
There you go. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we've already got a
extra
few.
battering of marzipan in it. Yeah.
It's the best kind.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't even started my Christmas baking yet. I have to figure out when I guess maybe Christmas Day would be a good day to do that. It'll be really fresh.
I baked up a batch of meatloaf last night, but
Oh,
It's about
For
as close as
Christmas?
it'll come.
Christmas
I like it.
meatloaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Cranberries in it.
I have no problem with that.
No, that
Okay.
actually might be
When-
pretty good.
When should I be over?
Yeah. Stop by on your way back to the
Okay.
northwest
Christmas
to the
Day.
west side there.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'll DB Cooper right out of that plane.
That's right.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Too funny. Too funny. All right. Well, lots of great activity already going on in the chat. And I see Keats94 is making peanut butter cookies. Awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff. All right. Well, you know what? We have a write-in here on looks like it's a milestone shared with us. So I'll read this out. It reads, "Howdy, Caching in the Northwest hosts and listeners. I just wanted to share reaching cache find number 22,222 this past November 13th on a geo hike in Larrabee State Park with Brylang, Bug Girl 1975, and Mulder Clan. I know some of the listeners of this show seem to have a thing for special numbers.
Yes, indeed.
That's sent in cheers from Three Hams and a Rose. So congrats.
Well, and
Wow.
two, that's pretty nice.
Oh, it's for celebration. Indeed.
22,000. Yes, exactly.
That is quite the milestone. So congrats. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Yes.
Anybody
we
else
always
is
appreciate-
sharing something? Share it. Give us a call. 253-693-TFTC.
Exactly. Yes. We always love to hear from you guys and share what you all know. All right. Any
Another
news?
news. Yeah, other news. Geocaching HQ. You know, they have a habit of sending out emails nearly every week. There's always interesting tidbits in there. And this week they shared that any organizer of an event that qualifies for mega or giga event status for 2025 can choose the block party icon for their event.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We have fond memories of geocaching HQ block parties.
Yeah.
They said, we recently asked the community to help us dream up exciting ways to celebrate 25 years of geocaching in 2025. Many suggested worldwide block parties, and we're very happy to put the idea into motion. So, if you want that coveted block party icon for your very own event, you have to host an event between January 1st and December 31st of 2025. And you have to qualify as a mega or giga event. And you do that by having at least 300 will attends. The event has to be at least 6 hours long. It has to highlight celebrating 25 years of geocaching. And then you also do have to submit an application for block party status. It doesn't just come automatically. So the event host will choose whether to apply for the mega event icon or apply for the block party icon. So you can't be greedy and get both. Don't just be thinking that, Land Monkey. Come on. You can visit the help center at geocaching.com for block party guidelines and the application process. I mentioned we had fond memories of them. HQ hosted the original ones in Seattle from 2011 to 2015. Only 5,064 geocachers received the block party icon during those years. So it goes to show it was a fairly exclusive activity because geocaching may be a global, worldwide game, but not everybody could make it to Seattle on that specific weekend.
Exactly.
So geocaching says, we are excited that this plan for 2025 will enable thousands more people to enjoy in the block party fun. And more details are to come in the future.
That's awesome. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Before we move on, I want to talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, Wits End, I know you have the block party icon. Do you have that, Land Monkey?
Yeah, I was down there at least a
Okay.
couple times with you guys when we had the booth.
So now, if in 2025, would you rather get a giga icon or a block party icon? Supposing that you're going to a giga event.
Supposing it actually got to that size. Not a lot of events will actually get to that size, but there's a few that can get to mega size. That's obviously easier to do, hitting the 300 will attends. I mean, I don't know. Good question. If something was big enough to be a giga, maybe I would want the giga. I don't know. I've got a couple gigas, but
I might, I know I have one. I might have two giga events, but
I
it's
think
like
you should have two because you were in Cincinnati and you were in
Mhm.
Abbotsford.
Okay,
you have
so
two.
that wasn't a special. That was a giga event. That wasn't a special something else
Both those Geo
icon.
Woodstocks were
Okay,
giga events. Yeah.
okay. So I would say the celebration in Seattle, the
Mm.
20th
20th.
celebration,
On the
22nd.
22nd year. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a giga as well, but it was that special celebration icon
Oh, yeah.
instead.
Yeah. Well, GSN times 2 said, I would rather have a block party more than a mega, but I would take a
Mhm.
giga over a block party. And I think that's kind of what
That's
a lot of people
exactly
are
what I
feeling.
was thinking.
Yeah. I was kind of landing in the same spot there as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Gigas are just a lot more rare, at least in North America here, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was shocked to see only 5,000 people got the block party icon.
I was too.
I guess
Seems like there
events
were
weren't
more people.
as
Yeah.
big. Yeah, it seemed like there were over 5,000 people at one of those block
At each
parties.
one.
right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're going to have some repeats every year, but
Mhm.
not everybody. I see people in the chat have been, we're at 3 of them, we're at 4 of them, but so yeah.
Very cool. Well, I think that's great. And I think it's a really good idea. And you've got, if people are thinking about it, you've got at least a year to
Yeah.
plan and get it organized. And
Mhm.
realistically, more than a year because no one's going to host it on January 1st. I mean, maybe somebody would, but not likely in the Northern Hemisphere.
Somebody's got to be the first one of the year. You know
Right.
that.
That's true. That's true. Very cool. I would expect that more maybe in Australia or New Zealand where they'll have better weather for
Oh, there you go.
Is that
Or,
FTBP? First to block party?
first to block party. It'll be a thing. I'm sure
Yeah,
it'll be.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for grabbing that news. That was exciting to hear, and that is good news for sure.
Yeah. Kitty Quest says, for those of us who've never had a chance to get to the block party and get an icon before, the block party is the most rare.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Wet Coaster says, we clicked on the wrong one there. I have the block party souvenir. I also have pictures of the 3 hosts from that party. I was going to say, I remember meeting Wet Coaster there. So good memories there.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. Well, Jim, did you want to lead us into
let's jump into tonight's topic, shall we, boys? Let's
Okay,
recap
awesome.
some of the top geocaching moments from 2023. Love them or hate them. This was the year that was, and listeners, we want to know if you loved them or hated them and why. What's the top geocaching moments from 2023? Are you
Yeah.
happy to see this year go? Are you sad to see it go?
I'm kind of sad to see most years go, except for 2020 and 2021.
Those years didn't happen.
No,
I was
those years
gonna
could
say, I
have
don't
gone.
remember anything in those years.
So really enjoyed 2023 a lot more. Let's say that.
There were events.
There were events, and but the first thing that comes to my mind of geocaching related things that occurred in 2023 would be the Wheel of Challenges. Talk about love it or hate it. 6 different challenges, about a month long each. Each challenge had 2 to 3 levels of difficulty. You could earn the unique souvenirs in.
Yeah.
It was a different way of trying things out. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the challenge.
Mhm.
And then I thought they were clearly at HQ. They're having fun with how they were introducing them with their the wheel spin and videos on that and such.
Yeah, that whole game show concept I thought was done well.
What I thought was pretty impressive is that every single time he spun the wheel, it never landed on the same thing twice. That's impressive spinning.
Mm-hmm. He's got skills.
Like Vegas level skills.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's take him to a roulette table, shall we?
Indeed.
That could be good. All you're going to get is a smiley out of it, but
No. Well, I'll do that. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't. Go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say I know I earned at least all 6 entry-level souvenirs. There were some that, weren't feasible for me to get beyond that, but nonetheless, I thought it was a good the promotion. I like the different levels because some people say, well, it's way too easy. Others say it's way too hard.
Yeah.
Well, I think they mixed it up on this one. They had the different levels. There were some that were like the streak, right? You had to do it for at least, was it 28 out of 30 days? That's
The streak was
difficult for most people.
Yeah.
Well, and if you were traveling during that time, it would have been particularly difficult.
Yeah.
Or not. Maybe it would have been easier if you were traveling.
Maybe.
Depends.
Yeah. I'm not sure I got 28 days of caching in the year so far. So I think it was a well put together event. It's not an event, but a thing, if you will. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't really even pay attention that it was happening. So I just kind of cached along normally and like, oh, I got a souvenir. Cool. Okay, whatever.
There you go.
I didn't,
that's nice.
I didn't actively pursue any of them.
If you can just keep doing whatever you do and you happen to get some sort of extra reward for it, then bonus, right?
Yeah.
We monkeys aggressively pursued each souvenir and got the set because I don't know, we're saps for the souvenirs.
Save the whales, collect the whole set. Oh, wait, that's different.
You need transparent aluminum for that.
Exactly.
Yes. There be whales here.
Did I read a couple weeks ago transparent aluminum has actually been invented now? It was something that crossed the feed, and I'm like, oh, really? Because a lot of things from Star Trek actually, have come to pass. Like say the, communicator, some of the different things. Anyway, never mind. We're not talking.
You
about
mean the
Star
flip
Trek.
phones that they used on the original Star Trek?
Yeah,
exactly. Those flip phones. Yeah.
Yeah, the food replicators intrigue me. I would like to have one of those.
Wouldn't that be handy?
Yeah.
We call that Costco now, but same thing. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, another large event that happened in 2023 was happy and sad. It was the final Tri-Cities GeoCoin Challenge. That has been an amazing event for years and years, and the team has just done an astronomical job of putting that together, and finally decided it's time to put it to rest, at least for a little while, maybe not forever. So it was the end of an era here in the Pacific Northwest. Jen, one of the local caches here, really spearheaded that and worked her tail off to get that put together. I'm happy to report I saw her at the South Central WSGA Christmas party event this weekend, so I know she's still out and about doing well. But we thank her and her whole team of dedicated volunteers for just a great, great series of events. And I'm glad 2023 was the first year I actually got to participate in it. I've had many scheduled challenges over the year. So once I showed up, they went, forget it, man. If he's coming, we're done.
He's going to come. Forget it. We're not doing this.
Yeah. So
you waited until you could get all the coins from all the years at one time.
Yeah.
That was
silly us. We went 3 year trying to get the coins.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I just just give me the one at the end. That's good.
Yeah. No, it was a really well done event, and we're gonna miss it for sure. That was always a lot of fun. It was a good excuse to drive down into the other corner of Washington State.
Yeah.
Hang out with friends, and that last year was awesome to be able to hang out, Jim, with you and Beth as well. So, we'll just have to come up with new reasons to come down.
I was going to say, there are still lots of geocaches here to be found, whether there's an event or not.
Yeah.
So come on down.
And some counties we don't have yet in that far corner.
That's right.
So
swing by and pick me up. I'll tag along and we'll grab a few counties down there.
We're definitely going to figure out how to do that this summer.
I think Garfield County is one of the smallest counties in the state, down in the southeast corner there.
Yeah, I got to get down there. So maybe we should have a Caching in the Northwest meetup down in Garfield County.
That would be cool. Let's plan on that next summer sometime.
We've done wackier things.
That's
Indeed.
Right. Do you see the comment there from Seebeck Tribe?
No.
So it was Wits End's fault.
Oh.
Yes, it was. I take full credit.
Oh dear.
So also this year, I'm not convinced we've seen the end of the Tri-Cities event. I think it's going to come back after a rest, but
Yeah, they kind of hinted as such that it may
yeah.
look different, but something will
Mhm.
probably come back down the road.
Yeah, and I think we need to mobilize the local geocachers to help out more with that and take some
Mhm.
weight off of the shoulders of Jen and her team
Yeah.
because they have jobs on top of this. So,
Hey, it could be a block party in 2025.
oh, there you go, there you go. But one thing that did come out this year in the state of Washington was the WSGA Geo Tours, right? So it was the 20th
Yeah.
anniversary of the Washington State Geocaching Association, and so for each chapter, they put out 20 geocaches in each chapter, 140 geocaches across the state. Now it's been extended into 2024, so get
Yep.
out there and finish them up this year. Good chance they're not going beyond that. So you want to make sure you finish up each chapter. You can, 3 chapters? So 60, 60 minus what is it? Can you miss 2 in each chapter
Yeah.
and still get
So
the coin?
if you want to, if you're
Yeah.
just after the coin, you're not after the souvenirs, it's 18 per chapter.
Right. There you go.
But if you want the souvenir, you got to get all 20.
Mhm.
Yeah, that motivated a lot of Pacific Northwest
Mhm.
and visitor cachers to undertake the challenge of at least getting the 18 from 3 different groups. And there's a
3 different chapters. Yep.
there's do you, I guess you wouldn't happen to know offhand, Chris, how many people completed the whole thing so far?
Um, it was mentioned in a meeting. I want to say 20-ish. I could
20.
be wildly off. Let's say 20 teams, right? Often there's more than one person.
Right.
Have completed that. Much larger number. There we go. MC3 Cats is going to look it up.
For us. Thank you.
He is the keeper of that information.
Yeah.
Much larger number did at least 3 chapters and gotten the first coin.
Yeah. There you go. And Keith says, note to self, renew passport. Otherwise you can't work on them. Stuck in Canada.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. My passport and my Nexus card have expired. I at the moment cannot visit Canada, but
yeah,
we'll
we got good use out of our Nexus card working on that Geo Tour
Oh, sure.
series
I can
of Geo
imagine.
Tours.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And I personally am very thankful to the WSGA and the WSGA volunteers. There you go. 30. Chris Bruce says 30 people have completed all 7 chapters.
Fantastic.
So that's quite an accomplishment. Yeah, that has been a lot of work getting those ones done for sure.
So I mean that's hitting, these. Well, you could do the counties, the towns and cities challenge. You can complete a lot of different challenges. The DeLorme challenge in the state of Washington by completing the WSGA Geo Tours.
Well,
or at least get you on a good footing.
Get you on a good, because I completed the Geo Tours, but I have not completed the county challenges.
Yeah, Seabag Tribe said souvenir and exploring the state was awesome.
Yeah.
And she also said she finally got the last county while doing the Walla Walla cash machine. So
nice.
Oh.
There you go.
every
Congrats.
county in the state. Quite the accomplishment.
And it's just a lot of fun to say Walla Walla.
Yeah.
Bing bang.
Oh, and MC3 Cats also shares 86 people have completed at least 3 of the Geo Tours and received a coin.
Awesome.
So
that's
that's good.
fantastic. That's great getting folks out
So
there.
get out there, earn those coins, mail in the passports, and MC3 Cats is going to get right on that. I know he mails out coins as soon as he gets those passports.
Yeah.
He's really on top of it.
And then you get a special gold envelope.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And if you get the golden ticket, you get to never know. No.
Then you get a free box of paper.
I am now telling the computer precisely what it can do with a geocaching souvenir.
Too fun. Yeah, Komakino said he's completed 3 of the sections and got the first coin.
Cool.
Seebeck Tribe has got 4 chapters done, only 36 more to find. 36 caches, I assume, to find, not 36 more chapters. And Brylang has completed 1 of the geo tours. So there you go. Good stuff, you guys. So yeah, that has been a lot of fun. That's something, I guess technically it came out late 2022, but I kind of look at it as a 2023 thing because most people who worked on it or completed it so far, they've done so in 2023. Because there wasn't a lot of time to finish up in 2022, particularly once the snow hit on the higher
Some
elevation.
areas are hard to find in that weather.
Yeah. But yeah,
in the pass right now is in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
Is it?
Off and on. Yeah. It's starting to become a concern. You need to watch your weather.
Yeah, I had to cancel a weekend trip to the west side earlier this month because the pass was too snowy. So
sorry to hear that, but yeah, not
so be
surprising.
safe, people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
We like all you geocachers. We want to see you at a giga event that may turn into a block party.
Block party. Yeah.
So be safe in your driving.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah, Chris Bruce says only 5 cachers got any kind of coins in 2022. So there you go.
Yeah, that's they really got up and got moving if they got in 22 because it started late in the year.
Yeah, I'm sure Rock Chalk was one of those 5.
Probably.
Could have been. There were a couple of very dedicated cachers that knocked out all 7 chapters quickly. I mean, within a month or 2. And it's like, holy cow, how do you get around?
Yeah.
That's aggressive. Yeah.
Take me with you.
No kidding. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Rock Chalk was one of the 5. There you go.
Yep.
Rumors confirmed. There you go.
Of course he was.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it would also be, I mean, I'm not going to give Chris Brew too much homework to do, but I'm curious how many might have been from out of state or out of country as well, because I think part of the goal of a geo tour is to bring people in from other areas to come and check. So that would be interesting to.
I was going to say the one chapter I have completed is the one I live in, so I did not go traveling far and wide for that.
Yeah, we did a little bit of that with you. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I did some with Chris.
The other thing with having a geo tour or 7 geo tours spread out like that. Sorry, I'm laughing because Seaback Tribe said, no, give Chris Brew the work. It's all good. Because of how spread out they were, that it kind of the 7 geo tours in this way, like it's so unusual to have this, right? To have this done. And the way that they were set up, I thought was kind of neat because it kind of created an environment where you almost had to, or it was easier to do it with other cachers. So it became more of a social thing than necessarily if it had just been a one-off single geo tour in one community. So, so yeah, kudos again to the WSGA for trying something really original. Very good. Very good.
What else happened in 23?
Well, it was the 10th anniversary of GJIF. So it wasn't the 10th year since the first GJIF, but it's
it wasn't 10 consecutive years.
Yeah,
right.
However that works,
but it was the 10th time it happened.
Yeah, 10th anniversary of GJIF. So lots of great GJIF events. I'm super thankful for the volunteers up here. I think we had 3 or 4 total GJIF events in BC by the end of that's amazing. And the one that I went to in Coquitlam, hosted by Bug Girl and Bob the Goalie and 6 Noisy Hikers and lots of other volunteers who helped out. But it was amazing. It was fantastic. And just, I just appreciate so much when people put that much work into an event so that you can just show up and really enjoy the opportunity. I think that was awesome.
I went this year to one here in the area, and it was the smallest GIF event I've ever attended. I think there were 5 of us.
Wow.
But we had a good time.
So. Awesome. There you go.
I co-hosted one with IHAM, and we did it the next to last day you could. So we did it on that. Well, maybe that was the last day. We did it on the Sunday. I want to say the 19th. And it was fun to hear. Oh yeah, this is 3rd, 4th, 5th GIF event that they were able to hit. It's like, oh,
That's
wow,
great.
you guys really got out there and did it.
You still only get to vote once, but
Yeah.
Yes.
GSM times 2 says that he thought the films this year were better than previous years. So
Mhm.
there you go. And Dora
And
Moore makes a great point. The films are way more fun to watch with other cachers. And I agree.
Mhm.
Having that audience, that live audience interaction, with something amusing happens, a twist ending, or something emotional happens, right? And
Mhm.
a hush falls over the room, right?
yeah,
It's palpable, right? That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I always am
Yeah,
intrigued by how well a foreign film will convey a message without sometimes even any spoken words.
Mm. Yep. Valid point.
yeah, and I think the films are only going to get better each year. As people
Yeah.
understand the tools and look at what's already been done, and go, well, I've got to one up
Right.
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
what
There's
was done
definitely some
last
of
year,
that.
right?
Yeah.
There's a little competition there.
Like,
I
ooh,
think
they
I
just
think there's definitely some competition at
raise
play.
the bar.
Yeah. But it's great. I mean, there's some very talented filmmakers and
Mhm.
Indeed.
videographers
Indeed.
in the community.
And I
So
know we mentioned it on a prior episode, but remember that the GIF events are taking an intermission for 2024 and
yes.
coming back bigger and better than ever for the 25th anniversary year in 2025.
So 2024 is the year to just everybody get out and cash like crazy, because 2025 is going to be all about the events.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So have a really big GIF event, and then you can decide if you want the GIF icon or if you want the block party icon.
I
Right.
want all the icons
All of them.
now.
When a gift party.
GIF.
And while you're out caching in
Just rolls off the
2024, videotape it all so that you can use that footage in your GIF film for the 25.
Yes, videotape it, definitely.
Yes.
Beta.
Get your VHS camcorder
Everything
out.
you do. Have a drone hover above you the entire
Yeah.
time you're geocaching.
You could use 16 millimeter film if you prefer. I'm okay with that too.
Mhm.
It can look like the classic Bigfoot footage.
Who you calling big?
Just your feet.
Okay.
You know what they say about podcasters with big feet?
They cover a lot of territory.
They do.
They need big shoes.
Yes.
And that too. All right.
And you know what else they do?
No.
Well, they meet here every Thursday night over and over and over again. And when you get to 500th time that you've done that, well, you throw a live event in Tacoma, and people come from all round, and caching with great sports that endure lots of hardships, and all the cool kids came.
Yes.
Land Monkey stayed in Canada, but all the cool kids came to the event in person. And yeah, we did. We celebrated 500 episodes of Caching in the Northwest with a live event on Thursday night at 9 p.m. in Tacoma. Had a great time. Yes, there you go. Chris put fire. I can do fireworks. Hang on, there we go. I'll just punch up my fireworks, and now Land Monkey will push up. Oh,
I don't know. I'll start the podcast.
okay. And as I recall, we had the tables turned on us, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, our guest decided to interview us for a change. And really, we put him through enough.
Oh boy, did we! He was a good. Boy, what's
Good
the word
sport?
I'm thinking of? Must be late. Good sport. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
go
didn't
through what
see
we
it or
put him
hear
through.
about it, endure it. We had some audio feedback issues, and there was a lot of echo, as I hinted at with my intro.
That was very subtle.
But it was Brian Roth, right? That came.
Yes. Yes.
Came down live in person. We appreciated him going, and he decided, well, you guys have done 500 episodes. I'm going to interview you guys. So he started asking us questions and turned the tables on the host, and that was great. I mean, really, we would have let him do almost anything he ever wanted to do on the podcast. We're just glad he was there, and humble little us having a podcast. But great time, great event.
It was awesome for to have everybody who was able to make it there. And Christy did an amazing job of getting the venue and everything. And I mean, the technical challenges, what are you going to do, right? It's, well, I guess what you're going to do is you're going to plan a little for the next one, is what I understand.
That will not happen again. I learned from my mistakes, and I, take steps so that doesn't happen again. So now I'm ready. So for our next 500th, wait a minute, for our 600th episode,
we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a thing.
Or maybe our 555th, because, people like repeating numbers.
It's a thing.
Yes.
So, for sure.
But no echo repeating.
No, not that kind of.
No, we can't. Yeah. No, we can't do that.
Oh, too funny.
Well, also in 2023 were virtual rewards 4.0.
Oh, yeah.
4. Yeah. So there were more virtual. I like how they're releasing them, kind of slowly to select people. In 2023, you had to opt into it. Right. The first one, it was here, surprise.
Yeah.
And then, so now you have to opt in. But I really like that, the virtuals are coming back. I found a couple of them while I'm out and about here, and it's really quite nice. I found one that was quite old virtual, and it was a 2.5, which I thought was odd.
That is a different combo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the virtual rewards 4.0 was awesome. Us Land Monkeys got one, so it was exciting to be able to put a virtual reward out. Actually, was it 4.0 or was it? I think 4.0 is what's coming out next. I think 3.0 was what came out this past year, isn't it? Or is my count off? Maybe my count's off. But anyways, we got one this past year, and it was exciting to put one out, and that's very cool. Yeah, Browling says virtual rewards email was Feb 8th, 2022. So there you go. All right. But yeah. And virtual rewards 4.0 will be the next ones.
Okay.
So that was
I got that messed up. I saw
that's all right.
I went through the geocaching blog.
Well, good
pulled
job.
Out headlines.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my gosh, there's so much to try and keep track of. So that's awesome. Keats94 brings something else up that happened this year, was the return of the Maritime Mega event in New Brunswick.
Nice.
The Maritimes of Canada. So, not as he said, not exactly the Pacific Northwest, but it was great to see some events making a return post-COVID. That was definitely one of them. And that was a fantastic event, well attended and well run.
Every time I hear Brunswick, I think of bowling alleys.
Right? As one would.
Okay.
Not surprisingly.
Is that company based in New Brunswick?
No, I think they're from
Old Brunswick.
I think they're from, I want to say Maine. Anyways, not sure.
At least it's not just me.
Yeah. There you go. Udak asks a great question for the FATAS. We'll get to that one in the FATAS, but the new Adventure Lab postcards. Yeah, I just noticed that this past weekend. I wasn't aware of that. So that's a good one.
I'm not aware of them. So
yeah, we'll talk about that in the after show. But that just caught my eye. I thought, I noticed that too. It's interesting. But yeah, so virtual awards, that was exciting. It's as you say, Chris, it's great to get some new ones out there, and I imagine there's probably some people who've cleaned out all the virtuals in the areas they live. So to get a few new ones is pretty cool. Signals Labyrinth, was that this year?
Yes.
Okay, so wow, there was a lot of souvenir competitions, souvenir earning activities this year. It's pretty cool. Signal in the Labyrinth. So what those are, like 4 or 5 stages to that one? I'm trying to remember.
Did that span across the year?
Multiple months anyways.
Yeah.
Quite a span of time on that one. Of course, always lots of other souvenir activities going on. We've got your International Earth Cache Day,
Hmm.
Big Blue Switch Day.
Big Blue Switch
I'm sorry,
Day.
Blue Switch Day.
Big Blue. We're always going to call it Big
Yeah.
Blue Switch Day.
Yeah.
They're smaller now.
Yeah.
We're
What else?
making everything smaller.
International
gonna-
Geocaching
Yeah.
Day. 2 CETO seasons again this year, like
Mhm.
previous
go.
last couple of years. So that's always fun. So, yeah.
Starcacher says you can log your GC9 fave locationless cache event this year. You have 9 days. At the end of this 2023, that each event
Yeah.
will be locked. You can no longer log it. So
Midnight,
Get out there.
December 31st. It's locked. You will not be able to log it.
Yeah, good reminder. Oh, there you go. IHAM says the labyrinth started in 22 but wrapped up in 23. That's why it's confusing. Okay. So it did span the years. Cool.
So, and I checked my GC9 fave and realized I had never logged it, so I logged it recently. So thanks
Good,
to the podcast for reminding me of that.
Mhm.
You don't want to miss that one, eh? There you
So,
go. Very cool. Oh, and we've found out through the research department that the Brunswick company is based in Muskegon, Michigan.
okay.
There you go.
Oh, Muskegon. Yeah. Okay.
Muskegon.
And I know that she marked this FATAS, but I think because it's somewhat connected, Seebeck Tribe is hosting her 50th event on the last day of this year, 12/31/23, because that's 123/123. Don't you know? I love that.
That's cool.
And she's hosting that at a bowling alley.
Fun.
Oh,
So,
And congrats on your 50th hosted event. That's
that's amazing.
That's
That's
a lot
impressive.
of events hosted.
Yeah.
Oh, she really knocked them out. What was the connected cacher? One of those challenges were going to events,
Oh, okay.
and she really. I want to say she nearly did one a day, but that might be a little generous. But it seemed that way.
Yeah.
Cool.
So great job.
Indeed.
Events are fun.
Events are fun. When you can get to them. Can't always
Yeah.
get
That's
to
right.
all of them.
No, can't do them all.
But it's good that
You
there's
can't.
variety so that there's lots of different opportunities for everyone. So at least everybody can get to some.
Mhm. Well, we've got a little time left in the podcast, and I wanted to talk about, maybe a gift giving idea. Wits-End, do you have any ideas of what people could give for good gifts that maybe are a little out of the ordinary?
A little out of the ordinary, or maybe maybe very in the ordinary that people love to
Oh,
talk about. I think he's giving me a broad hint here that he and I were chatting, offline about fruitcake. Because, there's all kinds of joke about fruitcake. Maybe that there's only one fruitcake in the world and it just gets passed around person to person. That's a rumor I've heard. I'm one of the few people I know that really like fruitcake. I eat fruitcake. You give it to me, it's not getting regifted. And, we talked earlier about Stollen. If you don't know Stollen, it's a German bread that's baked with dried fruits, candied citrus peel, nuts, spices thing. My family, when I was growing up, my grandmother and my mother would make Stollen and make fruitcake. So I had lots of it growing up. And I came across this little article talking about fruitcake that I enjoyed and thought, well, I might like to share that someday on the podcast. And this seems like the appropriate time. So this is called In Defense of the Unfairly Maligned Fruitcake. That says, while more famous for being the butt of jokes than a desirable foodstuff, I'm here to tell you that the modest fruitcake is the ambrosia of desserts, a delight to the palate and a party for the eyes. To start, fruitcake has two important things going for it: fruit and cake. As we all know, fruit is healthy. We're constantly being badgered by dietary experts to eat more fruit. And what better source of fruit is there than fruitcake? Besides every other source, I mean. I do think it's important here to dispel an enduring myth that the fruit in today's modern fruitcakes is infused with colossal amounts of sugar. That is a lie. It is glacéed with colossal amounts of sugar, which is an entirely different process that involves speaking French. Now, I'm willing to admit that the fruit you typically find in fruitcakes these days, assuming you find any, has been glacéed with so much sugar it resembles gummies more than fruit, but that's not what's important. What's important is that it has the word fruit in it. So when your doctor asks you if you've been eating fruit, you can give them an answer that won't necessarily require a visit to the confessional booth and a half dozen Our Fathers. It's also a little known fact that enormous amounts of sugar act as a natural antimicrobial agent, which explains fruitcake's epic shelf life. In contrast, low amounts of sugar actually encourage microbial growth. So really, if you care about the health of your family, maybe skip the dangerous germ-ridden natural fruit and give them a big healthy serving of life-saving fruitcake. Besides, when you think about it, where does sugar come from anyway? A plant. And what is a plant if not a vegetable? Eating fruitcake is like taking balance of nature, only instead of having to choke down pills, you get to choke down cake. Speaking of which, cake. Enough said. Fruitcake has a long history dating back as far as the Egyptians and has played a role in shaping our lives to this very day. Roman legions used an early form of fruitcake called satura to fuel their expansion. Did they rely on kale salads and quinoa? No. Otherwise, we'd all be speaking German by now or something. Fruitcake is versatile as well. It's appropriate for both breakfast and dessert, bookending your busy day. Plus, how many desserts can you wrap up and give as an actual gift as opposed to just something you bring to a dinner party? Let's just say you aren't going to drop banana pudding in a FedEx box. And yes, all jokes aside, it really can be used as a doorstop. You can't say that about peach flambé, if only for the safety hazard. And I'd like to see someone try to drive a nail with a pizzelle. Fruitcake is truly one of my favorite things to eat. My mother-in-law makes a particularly good version that substitutes spiced gumdrops for some of the glacéed fruit. That's how much she cares about our health. It also includes ample quantities of nuts, raisins, fruit, and just the right amount of spices. It is alcohol-free, which is how I like it. I'm an alcohol purist of sorts and prefer it on the side. So enjoy your fruitcake this year, the penultimate holiday treat / multi-tool / health food during this joyous season. And despite my clearly airtight argument to the contrary, should you still be inclined to drop your Aunt Marge's fruitcake straight into the wastebasket, ask around to see if anyone might want it. There are more of us around than you think.
Wits End. Thank you. So fruitcake.
Yeah, I'm
Fruitcake
hungry.
is the gift, in some cases, that keeps on giving or being given.
Yeah, well read, Wits End. Thank you.
If you give it to Wits End, it'll be gone.
Yeah, it will be consumed.
Yeah, my mom makes a pretty good fruitcake. I've enjoyed that. Always enjoyed that. So I always found it funny when people would complain about fruitcake. I'm like, I don't know. Any fruitcake I've ever had has always been good, but I guess there's, like anything else, there's variations. And
Well, I'm seeing chat, content. I just glanced down after reading. I wasn't looking at the chat, and I see that Seaback Tribe says I've earned 35 so far in 23. So that's a lot of fruitcake.
Fruitcakes, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what else.
Not everybody gets that many fruitcakes. I haven't earned any yet.
How do you earn a fruitcake?
Well, I mean, you have to do a fruitcake worthy act to earn a fruitcake, obviously.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of things going on in the comments
Yeah.
that I can't quite keep up with. But
I think they've all just tuned out fruitcake and
their
gone
own
off on their own
conversation.
discussion. Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, in that case, folks, thanks for taking the time to tune in and listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest.
Absolutely. We want to take a moment to thank our corporate Denali level sponsors. That would be Landsharks, LANDSHARKZ.ca, and Gold Country Geotourism. Landsharks is the outdoor adventure and geocaching store. It's not too late to get a gift certificate for Christmas. Check them out online. They're still shipping those orders. And for absolutely amazing geocaching adventures, check out exploregoldcountry.com and plan your trip either over the holidays or sometime next year. And we want to thank all of our faithful Denali level sponsors. That is, of course, Land Sharks and Gold Country Geotourism, but also Groovy Owl, Cool Cow Cachers. Sorry, Chris threw me off. And Cashly, the geocaching app. That was awesome. That was the Pink Floyd concert for our Denali level sponsors. That's awesome. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click that Patreon link in the cashingnw.com website, dude.
Like just Carlo did.
And you talks to rocks.
And JCar.
And BC Rockcrawler.
Subway Mark.
Ackerdoc.
GeoNav Pro.
The Camp Clan.
MC3 Cats.
Ella Robrick.
Nervous Energies.
Limax.
Green Words.
LG 9000.
Peach of Washington.
Just finding our way.
Trexer.
Boomer 365.
Kev MacD.
Logwork.
CRS 98.
Geocaches.
Terrible Lunch, Great Cashier, Gas Station Tuna.
Active in the chat tonight, as always, GSM times 2.
Sige Hove.
UDAC.
Kitty Quest.
Mountain Bike.
Flagman.
Well done. Wino Seattle.
Genies.
Ari 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Seebeck Tribe.
With 50 events, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Wet
A bunch
Coaster.
of souvenirs.
Doramore.
Skyhawker.
Kid Vegas 19.
M-Nerve.
B Pendragon.
Dean Noltex.
Korsgat.
And Antaeus.
Folks, thanks for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Your support helps keep the quality shows coming. If you like the show, please click the Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. Now, if you didn't like the show, let us know what you want us to talk about, or maybe we'll send you some fruitcake. Now, if you like the vibe, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a review, because if you were in a restaurant, you would tip. If you were in a live audience, you would clap. But since you're on a podcast, leave us a free, fast, fabulous, fantastic 5-star review. And of course, you can call into 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or help us find that hickory honey ham any time of the day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Join us every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Pacific, no matter what time zone you happen to be in, for a live show and chat. The show is produced by Chris Umfenauer, Jim Paulitz, Jay Kennedy, and Brian Lang, licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0, copyright 2023 by Chris Umfenauer. And folks, I ask you to stay tuned for the after show.
The after show.
Fun. All right. Well, we had a couple of after show things here. What do we have?
I like that Iham says, fruitcake doesn't make a good Valentine's gift. Yes, there's a story there. No, I won't tell it here.
So at the next event you see Iham at,
Yeah.
make
Ask
sure
him
you
about
ask.
Valentine's Day and fruitcake.
That's
There
a
you go.
serious regifting right there. You're saving it for almost 3 months.
Genies, this one's for you, Jim. Genies saw a store in Maui called Wits End, but he didn't get a picture, but he thought of you, Jim.
Oh, well, I appreciate the thought.
It's a thought that counts. Here's a really good one from GSM times 2. A little planning tip here. Start preparing your plan for February 29th to get as many Project GC add-ons as possible. All cache types, all cache sizes, FTF, and hosting events and CTOs all will get you a Feb 29 add-on to your awards on Project GC. So
Didn't we just have leap year, it seemed?
It does seem like it, yeah.
feels like it. Well, next I think next show we've got JT Coffee and Geocaches coming on, and they're going to be talking about all the stuff to plan for and their plans I'm pretty sure they're going to have Feb 29 on that list. I would be surprised if they don't.
There's a log sheet right here behind me on my back wall from an event I hosted on a February 29 event. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Okay, so MC3 Cat said I should host a CITO on February 29th. What day of the week is that?
I have no idea.
One of those days ending in Y.
Why? Yeah. I got a 1 in 7 chance of picking the
It's
right
a
week.
Thursday. It's a podcast night.
Oh, well,
Wow.
there you go.
I think you can get your Caching the Northwest souvenir.
There you go.
And get your glow badge.
Yeah. Or something.
We could draw up a special Leap glow badge.
A
Yeah.
Leap badge?
Live
A live
event?
podcast event from the side of a road at a CITO?
Yeah.
There you go. UDAC had asked earlier about the AL postcards. So if folks don't know what we're talking about,
I don't know.
Here.
Fill me in.
I just pulled it up here.
in the
So-
Adventure Lab app. Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
So I just happened to pull up the Adventure Lab app while I was here, and up comes your postcard that tells you all about it. Collect postcards, they say, as you complete adventures, then choose your stamp and share them with your friends and family. Check out your postcard collections in your profile. So it's a bit like souvenirs, but postcards that you can send off to different people.
And I think you only get one once you complete an AL.
You have to complete it, yeah.
But it's interesting. It's a cute little
Mhm.
digital souvenir type idea. I noticed it on our last road trip when we went down. We were doing a road trip doing the ALs for the Pacific Northwest Trolls. And I just happened to open up the app and I was thumbing through looking for something. I was like, oh, what the heck is this? And then it's like, oh, well, that's interesting. So yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how well you can see my screen, but there's a bunch of postcards here.
Yeah. So they've backdated them, as it were. So I
Mhm.
think for every AL you've ever finished, there's a postcard. And so
Wow.
for some people, that's a lot of postcards.
Yeah, no kidding.
There you go. So everybody's Christmas cards for me this year are going to be postcards from ALs I've finished previous years.
Oh, interesting. So you can choose your stamp. You can choose between one of 3 stamps there. This is on the Space Adventure, right? So the one at the Museum of Flight. You can choose one of 3 stamps and go and share it.
There you go.
Cool.
I put my stamp on there, I hit share, and that pops people to share with through text.
Very cool. There you go. Well, there's one more question from GS sometimes too, but we're kind of out of time. But you know what? This question is a great teaser for next week's episode. So I'm gonna read the FITASK question from GS sometimes too, and I'm gonna tell you, folks, send in by email or audio your answer to GS sometimes two's question for us to share in either next week or the subsequent week's podcast. And his question is, what are 2 2023 geocaching accomplishments you are most proud of? We'd love to hear from all
I
of you.
like that.
Yeah.
So, think about it. You got a couple of weeks, at least a week. Send us your answers and we'll share the answers on an upcoming podcast. Fun. Thank
Love
you very
that.
much, GS sometimes too. Great question.
And you'll win a warm feeling knowing that you contributed to the podcast.
Maybe we can work something to give away. I'm not committing to that yet, but we'll have
Well,
to see.
There's a promotion we wanted to work on,
Mhm.
so let's talk about that during the week. Let's take that one offline.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Folks, and until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.